If you are brand new to software engineering, the term infinite loop is just another technical term. However, if you have some exposure to software development, the term infinite loop should send shiver down your spine. Like this poor guy here, he is continually in an infinite loop until he faints or somebody is going to come and tell him to stop chasing his own tail. In computer application, an infinite loop could potentially cause the program to crash or a memory leak, or all of the above. What is a looping mechanism? So, one practical example of a looping mechanism is, let's say that we take a part of the Stanford campus here, and there are 12 buildings in this section of Stanford. And every day, a delivery person comes here and enter this loop, you can say, because they have 12 packages for each building, one package for each building. And they have exactly 12 packages. So those are the conditions, okay? 12 packages that needs to be delivered to each building, and there are 12 of them. Okay, so we have the entrance condition, the starting condition, and the exit condition. Okay, we can say that it's an exit strategy with at which point we can break out. Okay, we can break out of the loop after the exit strategy is met, or the exit condition is met. Okay, so we can enter the loop up here, drop off packages for each building. Okay, and then once we're done, our exit condition is met, and we stop running this loop, and we exit the loop. So we're done. Okay. There are times when we want an infinite loop. For example, if you're writing software for an alarm, right, an alarm clock. So at 5 a.m., the alarm's going to go off and continue to go off until there is no more electrical power or the owner throws the alarm clock against the wall. Or like if you're developing software for a jet and you're working on landing system, right? So the landing gear warning will work in conjunction with ground proximity control or detection. And if the aircraft is in the glide path to land, on the approach to land, and you're close to the ground, then you would want some sort of alarm to go off inside of the flight deck to warn the pilots that, hey, you need to lower your landing gear before you touch the ground, right? So those are the infinite loop that needs to happen. But generally, though, in software development, we need an exit strategy, right? We need an exit condition out of the loop so we don't end up like this poor guy here, okay? So let's go to our application again. So thus far, we have the ability to take input from the end user, but we need to keep the program running until the condition is met to where they guess the correct number, and then at which point we will exit the application and stop the application, exit the loop and stop the application. There are multiple types of loops in Rust. For this particular exercise, we will use the infinite loop. And it sounds very scary, but we can implement an infinite loop and set the exit strategy for it with an exit condition. Okay? So, where would be the best place to start the loop? Well, in the main method, in the main function, on line 8, we welcome the user. That could just happen just once. So it can go below that. We could certainly have started on line 9, but then we have to generate a secret number every time, right? So why don't we start on line 11, okay, where we have them guess continuously all the way until they win, which ending on line 29. So to declare an infinite loop in Rust, you just use the loop keyword, and then you group the codes together with the curly braces, an opening curly brace and a closing curly brace. You notice there my IDE automatically format the code for me. We'll get into the settings for that a little bit. Okay, so now I have a loop set up from line 13 all the way until line 30. Okay. Um, why don't we make a comment for ourselves, because we're new to Rust. Let's just say that infinite okay, something simple like that. However, we need to change something. So on line 28 through line 30, this is just one line of code, so I do not need to group it. Okay. Uh, However, as part of my exit strategy out of the loop, I need to group some code together, starting on line 30, in a condition where the end user has guessed the correct number. I do want to tell them that they guessed the correct number. And to break out the loop, I simply use the reserved keyword break. So what I'm saying here is that if we achieve match, break out of the loop. Okay? And that's pretty much it for the infinite loop. Okay? So let's go to the console. Let me clear this out and zoom in a little bit so you can see. We can do cargo run here. I've used an alias CR for cargo run in my terminal to make it a little bit faster. Let me know if you want me to help you with that in the comments. Okay, so I run and compile the application. We know the ticket number is 1. Let me try 0. Too low. See, it will continue to run. Let me try 2, which would be too high. Yep, too high. Now let me try the secret number. Okay, exact match, and it exit the application. Okay, so our loop is working as expected. Okay, now let me go into the settings. And so, as you can see here, I'm using 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Referred to as tab size. Now, the tab size consists of 4 spaces. Now, in the Rust community, the trend seems to be 4 space tab. Okay, the tab consisting of 4 spaces. However, in the real world, in your team, your development team, it is whatever the architect decide it should be. So just follow what is common practice for your particular scenario. So if you go to the VS Code extension, I have an extension called Rust Formatter, right here, this one here, Rust FMT. So if you install that, and then you go to Files, Code, Code, and then Preferences, and then Settings, it'll take you to this file here, and you click on this icon here. It says Open Settings. That's a JSON object. And then if you don't have this already, go ahead and type this into this JSON object, just like I have it here. And then whatever tab size works for you. On mine, it automatically defaulted to 4 tabs, 4 spaces for each tab. Now keep in mind that whenever Microsoft does a software update, this could change. Okay, but generally it's in the settings. Okay, so let's go back to the console and see where we're at with this application. So now we have the ability to keep the application running until the end user get the correct number. What happens if you enter a string? Let's try bacon. Okay, so if we would enter a string, then we get Panic at the Disco. Okay? Let's handle this in the next episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.